Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing an anti-inflammatory diet meal plan for the summer, and I actually created a PDF to go with this video, so make sure you check out the link to that below in the description. Let's go ahead and get started with these amazing recipes. We're starting with a breakfast, and this is my chocolate seed pudding. So you just need a mason jar, some chocolate collagen. You could also use a chocolate protein powder, some chia seeds, fantastic for fiber. That's what's going to gel up and make it like a pudding, some hemp seeds and flax seeds. We've got like triple seed action going on here. So to your mason jar, you're just going to add 2 tablespoons each of all of those seeds. So 2 tablespoons of the chia seeds, 2 tablespoons of flax, 2 tablespoons of hemp seeds, and then you'll add the collagen on top of that. And the collagen, the chocolate collagen, it has, just the flavor that's going to give this nice chocolatey flavor. You can also add some other spices like cinnamon and cardamom. Using herbs and spices is a fantastic way to make your meals even more anti-inflammatory. It really amps up the anti-inflammatory factor. And then I'm going to add 1 cup of a non-dairy milk. I've been using an unsweetened coconut milk that I really like, but you can use whatever you choose. You're just gonna stir that up so that all of the ingredients are combined, and that way the chia seeds and the flax seeds really are all, incorporated, and they're gonna be what gels up and makes this like a pudding by the time you're ready for it. So I like to do this overnight, but you could also do it in the fridge for like 4 hours. So this is what it looks like when it's ready. It's nice and thick and creamy and so delicious. I topped mine with some frozen berries. You can use any type of fruit, or omit the fruit if you like. And then just to add even more seeds, I used an unsweetened sunflower butter and a sprinkle of pumpkin seeds. There we have it. There is my amazing chocolate seed pudding. Perfect for on the go. You could leave everything in that mason jar and top it in the morning, or enjoy it at home like I did. Next breakfast option that I have in this plan is a gingerberry smoothie. So we need frozen mixed berries, and I just have this mix of raspberries, strawberries, and blackberries. We need some type of nut butter or seed butter. I used almond butter, some frozen greens or fresh greens. I had kale, some flax seeds, some unsweetened coconut milk like I used before. So I tried to use a lot of the same ingredients in these meals to make it easy. And then I'm using this plant-based protein. It's a vanilla protein. And we're going to use some ginger. This is the really heavy-hitting anti-inflammatory factor in this smoothie. Ginger is such an incredible anti-inflammatory spice, so I tried to use it as much as I could in these recipes, especially for those of you too that may not be crazy about the ginger flavor. The ginger just kind of adds to it. It's not like a super intense flavor. So you're just going to use about 1/2 inch of that ginger root and just slice it up, and the blender will take care of the rest. So putting in my coconut milk, I like to add a little bit of ice, especially in the summer. I like my smoothies nice and cold, and it kind of helps thicken it up a little bit. Top it off with a little water. You're going to add your peeled ginger. Add 1 serving of your protein powder. This smoothie kind of follows my formula for all my smoothies. I make sure to have protein, fat, fiber, and some type of produce in all my smoothies. So the fiber was my flax seeds, and then the produce is going to be my frozen berries. I add about 1/4 cup, and my frozen greens that I add. And then you're gonna add 2 tablespoons of your nut or seed butter. I really like this almond butter. And then I'm topping it all off with the frozen kale that I had in my freezer. I like using frozen greens. I think they incorporate better and doesn't have as much of a green flavor, if that makes any sense. So now everything's in my blender. I'm just gonna go ahead and blend that up. Again, this is a great thing to make ahead. You can make it the night before and put it in a hydro flask or some type of to-go cup and have it ready to go in the morning. If it thickens up by the time it's ready to go in the fridge, you can just add a splash of non-dairy milk and mix it up. And for fun, I just topped mine with a little bit of unsweetened shredded coconut, just to make it look kind of pretty. Now we're on to a lunch, and this is my egg salad toasty with lemon. So we need 2 hard-boiled eggs for the egg salad. I'm just gonna mash them up in a bowl, some lemon, of course, salt and pepper. Gotta season everything as you go. Some Dijon mustard, you can use regular mustard or spicy mustard if you like, half of an avocado, and some red onion and some tomatoes and some dill. I think the dill is really key in this recipe. It makes it taste like restaurant quality. Some type of greens to go on your lettuce, arugula, romaine, mixed greens, whatever you like. And then I like to have some raw vegetables chopped up on the side. And I am going to use this new bread that I have found. It's not new, but it's new to me. This gluten-free Char deli style seeded bread tastes so good. So I'm just starting by cutting up my hard-boiled eggs so they're a little bit easier to mash up. And then I'm going to add my Dijon mustard. And for some reason it was like so hard to get the mustard out of the bottle that day, of course. And then I'm going to add my chopped dill. You can use dry dill if that's all you have. But again, I really think that having fresh herbs on hand, having some really good dried spices, some organic, fresh dried spices, you get so much more anti-inflammatory benefit by cooking with those things. Like for example, turmeric. So I remembered that I had turmeric and I wanted to go ahead and add that. Something I love to add to eggs because eggs already have like a golden type of color and turmeric just makes them even more golden, and it's a major superfood anti-inflammatory spice. So I added probably about like half a teaspoon of that. And then I added my lemon, and that really helps kind of get the egg salad to come together without using any mayo. Just using the Dijon mustard and the lemon will help you do that. I toasted up 2 slices of my bread, and on one side I topped it with the egg salad. And you just kind of mash it down just to make sure everything stays. It's a little messy, but what good sandwich isn't messy? And then on the other side, I just mashed the avocado into the other side. So you really don't need any mayo for this, like I said, because you're getting the fat from the yolks and the avocado. And I just added some red pepper flakes to my avocado because I love that. I added my tomato and my red onion. You can add whatever sandwich toppings you like. And I tried to get a lot of watercress onto the sandwich and just put the lid on. And then you're gonna cut it in half and enjoy it. I had some fresh bell peppers in my fridge, so I just sliced them up and served them on the side, but you could do any type of veggie you like on the side. I think this is a fantastic, again, lunch you can make ahead and put in your lunch bag to take to work, to take to school. You can prep the egg salad ahead of time. You could also serve it over greens if you don't want to have a sandwich, and you could pair it with some crackers. Very versatile. Now we're going to move on to another lunch, and I'm gonna make my peanut dressing for my peanutty tuna salad with noodles. And this is a perfect summer recipe because all the ingredients are pretty much cold and you don't really have to cook anything. Again, another make ahead meal. So I'm just showing you all the ingredients that go into the dressing, and I will add them here to this like plastic cup that I use for my immersion blender, but you could also whisk this up or put it in a regular blender. So we've got the peanut butter, lime juice, ginger, garlic, 2 tablespoons of avocado oil, and a tablespoon of honey. It's really helpful to do the avocado oil before the honey because then it slides out of the spoon really easily. And you're going to finish with 2 teaspoons of coconut aminos, but you could also use gluten-free tamari or a reduced sodium soy sauce if that's what you prefer. And then I just blended that all up with my immersion blender. These are the noodles that I'm going to use, these Miracle noodles. They're a grain-free, gluten-free noodle, and they're actually full of fiber, but you can use any noodles you like. I have some chopped up carrots, some chopped up cabbage. You can buy those pre-chopped to make it even easier. Some cilantro, again, herbs. We're adding lots of herbs and freshness. And then I like to use skipjack tuna because it's a little bit lower in mercury. And so you're just gonna add all your veggies and your noodles to the bowl, and you're gonna top with your peanut sauce. And I use about half of the peanut sauce and save the rest for later. Sprinkled on some sesame seeds. You could do crushed peanuts, that would be delicious, and some red pepper flakes. Moving on to another recipe, we're gonna start with a dinner recipe, and I'm going to make my mashed cauli potatoes, or what did I call it? It's potato cauli mash. I think that's what I ended up calling it. So you need potatoes, some frozen cauliflower, some ghee, some minced garlic, some thyme, and some red pepper flakes. So you're just gonna chop your potatoes into 12ths, I think. I think each potato was pretty big. And then I just set those to the side, and you're gonna fill up a big pot of water and add your potatoes. You just need the water to cover the potatoes by about 3 inches. You're gonna add some salt, and then you're gonna transfer that to your stovetop and boil for about 5 to 10 minutes or until the potatoes are tender. Then you can go ahead and add your cauliflower. You could also use fresh cauliflower, rice cauliflower, whatever you have. You're just gonna cook the cauliflower until it's tender. And then to go with it, I'm gonna do my lemon pepper salmon. I just have some frozen wild salmon in the freezer, basically at all times. I pull it out and I thaw it. I'm gonna add some salt and some of this lemon pepper seasoning. This is a nice one that I found that doesn't have any like added anti-caking agents or anything like that in it, but you could of course make your own lemon pepper seasoning if you please. I just like to keep it easy and get the pre-made kind if I can. So I season that really, really generously. And at that time, my potatoes and my cauliflower were done, so I just drained them in a colander. And then I add them back to the pot and I add the remaining ingredients. So I add the ghee, some more salt, and my garlic, and I'm going to also add in the thyme. Once those are all added, you can go ahead and mash it all up. You could also transfer to a blender, use an immersion blender, however you like your mash kind of texture to be. I cooked the salmon in a saute pan with also a little bit of ghee, and I'm just flipping the salmon over. It gets this really beautiful crust on one side. I do about 4 minutes on the first side and only 1 minute on the second side. And then I squeeze on some fresh lemon juice at the end. And then I served this with just a simple side salad, but you're getting so much good, delicious omega-3 high protein from the salmon. You're getting cauliflower and potatoes from the mash and some greens on the side. This is like my favorite meal. Our next dinner recipe is a one-pot summer pasta. These are all the veggies that I'm using for the pasta. We've got a zucchini chopped up, yellow bell pepper, onion, carrot, tomatoes, and then the pasta that I'm going to be using is this gluten-free penne pasta. It's made from brown rice by the brand Jovial. I really like this brand. They have a ton of different kinds of pastas and they all cook up very beautifully. And then for your liquid, you're going to use some type of broth. I think chicken broth would probably be ideal, but I didn't have any, so I like to use what I have, and I had some bone broth, beef bone broth, so I used that, some garlic, and then you're going to season, or not season, you're going to garnish with some pine nuts. And then I'm also going to add some basil. I had about a bunch of basil growing on my deck, so I pulled that and thought that would be nice. So you're just going to add 6 ounces of your dry pasta to a pot, and you make sure to add the pasta on the bottom because you need to make sure that the pasta is fully submerged in your liquid. It's not as important for the veggies. So top with your veggies, your basil, and your garlic, and then you're going to add 2 cups of your broth to the pot. And again, just make sure that the noodles are at the bottom and they're fully submerged because they need to cook in the liquid, and everything else can just kind of steam. And then you're going to add some salt, especially if your broth is low sodium. You want to season it with some salt and some pepper. Bring that to a boil, and then you can go ahead and turn it down to a simmer, and you're gonna cover the pasta to cook. I like to go by the cook time that the pasta box says, so my cook time was 12 minutes. Pull the lid off, let some of the liquid cook off if there's any left, and then you're left with this silky, beautiful one-pot summer pasta. I like to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil just to kind of bring it together, make sure all the seasoning is like sticking to the pasta really nicely. And that's kind of our fat for the dish. And extra virgin olive oil is a fantastic finishing oil. It's non-inflammatory like other oils can be. And then I just topped with some more fresh basil and some toasted pine nuts. You could also use sunflower seeds if you like. Next dinner recipe is my cilantro lime chicken. I just have 2 pasture-raised chicken breasts that I put in a Ziploc bag. I'm going to add this cilantro lime marinade and dressing. I love this brand because they use non-inflammatory oils or anti-inflammatory oils in their dressings and marinades. So I add about 1/4 cup of their cilantro lime dressing to my chicken, and I just kind of mush it all up so the chicken is completely coated in the dressing. You could leave that in the fridge for, half an hour if you like, or if you're short on time, just like 5 to 10 minutes, you can put that to the side. And then you're gonna add that to a sheet pan. I like to add a little bit of salt and pepper to one side. And then on the other side of the sheet pan, you're gonna cook up your broccoli. I had some broccoli and some frozen cauliflower, so I did a little bit of both. And you're gonna add 1 tablespoon of avocado oil to your broccoli. I like to use avocado oil when I'm putting anything at a high temperature because it has a high smoke point and it's a non-inflammatory oil. Then you're just going to toss with some salt and pepper and add to the other side of your sheet pan coated with parchment paper. You're gonna add that to a 425-degree Fahrenheit oven for about 7 minutes. Take it out, flip the chicken, flip the broccoli. That way everything's gonna cook nice and evenly. And you're gonna add that back into the oven for another 7 minutes or until the chicken is completely cooked through. I decided to serve mine with some brown rice that I steamed in my Instant Pot, but sweet potato would be lovely, quinoa would be nice, just a nice carbohydrate source on the side. Next up is my no-cook summer salad. So this is for the night you really don't want to turn the oven on. You're just going to start with a big bowl of lettuce. You're going to need some shrimp. I made this just for 1 because it was just me that night, but the recipe does have the instructions for 2 servings. So I had 4 ounces of shrimp, and this was just cooked shrimp that I just thawed. I'm going to use the rest of that cilantro lime dressing, some fennel, some onion, some nectarine. I love adding fruit to a salad. It makes it so delicious. And some pumpkin seeds. I also had some grape tomatoes, but I just kind of wanted to semi-dry them. So I dried them in my convection toaster oven for about 15 minutes, just so they get kind of like that sun-dried tomato flavor. It's so delicious. And you're really just gonna add all your chopped veggies and the nectarine and half of an avocado to your salad bowl. I like to add the shrimp on top, drizzle on 1 to 2 tablespoons of that cilantro lime dressing that we used the night before. You can garnish with some pumpkin seeds. And there is our no-cook summer salad. Feel free to use any type of protein you like or keep it vegetarian. You could add beans, you could add more nuts and seeds, you could add tofu. It's really so versatile. Friday night meal, we wanted to get out and grill. So I had some grass-fed ground beef, I had some thyme from my garden, some Dijon mustard, salt and pepper, of course, some avocado oil, and some garlic. And so that's what I used to make my hamburger mix. I added it all into this bowl and mixed it all together gently, just with a fork. You could also use your hands, but you don't want to over mix your burger mix. Then made it into 4 patties. You could also do like 4 to 5 if you want them smaller. And we just grilled them out on our charcoal grill. You just want to make sure to not overcook and really char the meat. So we like to do 4 to 5 minutes aside. So for my burger toppings, I love red onion. So I sliced up some red onion. I also had some summer crisp lettuce that I got from my CSA box. And I love Primal Kitchen, so I have their ketchup. And then I also added some more Dijon mustard to mine. I also found these omega buns. This is a local product here in Ohio. You may be able to find it elsewhere, but it's a omega bun. So there's lots of omega-3s in these buns, and it's grain-free and gluten-free as well. So I thought this was kind of fun. And Jack and I both ate these, and we both really, really liked them. You could also make just a lettuce wrap if you'd rather. And then we also did some steamed lemon broccoli, and I just wanted to share this tip. If you don't want to bake things on the grill in foil, you can wrap them in parchment paper and then wrap the foil around. We also had some sweet organic summer corn, and it was delicious, the perfect summer meal. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you subscribe, comment down below, and make sure you check out the PDF of the recipes. Thanks so much for watching.